The Leila Show.
Beyond the New to the Leila Show, a culture cast where the power of conversation knows no bounds. Join us as we embark on thought-provoking conversations that explore the ever-evolving trends, untold histories, diverse cultures, and profound questions of existence. With your host, me, Leila Ziari. So welcome back to another week of the Leila Show. This week we have guest Alessandra Veronesi?
Yes, Veronesi, correct.
Veronesi, okay, perfect. I didn't want to mess that up. So she is an inspirational life strategist, business coach, and author of the book, A New Banana, Unpeel Yourself and Elevate Your Relationships. Through this project, she aims to help people improve their relationships with themselves, others, and the world, find joy in their daily lives, and stay connected to their authentic self, which is awesome because we all need a little bit of that. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so great to be here. I'm very grateful to have this conversation.
Yes, I'm very grateful to have you here. And I'm excited for you about your book because I feel like, relationships are the fundamentals of everything we have in our life. We have nothing without a relationship to ourselves being
Absolutely
balanced and then therefore having healthy relationships with others. So tell us a bit about your book and everything. Just everything. Tell us what you're doing here.
Of course. Well, you said it. So more and more, even now that the book's been published and, I've been continuing with planning a new business and just living the real world again. It really, the more I live my life, the more it always comes back to our relationship with ourselves and our definition of what it should look like and our definition of what it feels like to be authentic and how we connect and what spirituality means for us. And so basically when I wrote the book, it was COVID. And so I finally was in a state of, isolation as well as no more stimuli from the workplace. And, I was terrified because for the first time in possibly my entire adult life, I didn't have anything externally to focus on and I had to focus on myself. And what I found was that I had no relationship with myself. I didn't even know, I was just completely uncomfortable because I was traveling all over the place for work, distracting myself with, experiences and friends and relationships. So, and relationships are wonderful and amazing when we branch off into groups and things like this. But if we don't have a positive one with ourselves, we're really just filling voids that are temporary.
Exactly, which is very toxic to ourselves in the long run because we call in things that are missing, which is then you're feeding pieces of yourself that really need to find anyway, right?
Yeah, and it's temporary. And if you base your own ideas off of what's happening around you and you're constantly checking in with the external world to understand who you are, even if it's subconsciously, essentially you're telling yourself that you have no control.
Right.
Because it's dependent on what's taking place around.
Right.
And so what that might look like is if you don't get a job that you wanted, or if you do really badly at an interview, or, any type of situation that you didn't perform at your best, you're going to go and feel 10 times worse about it. Right. And, and blame yourself even more. And so, I was definitely in that space, which in an unhealthy way was driving my ambition and my career progression, for many people. And so, it was just it was a beautiful blessing to be able to stop all of that, needless competition with, these external influences and just really look within and find that connection inside. And, when we heal our inner world, the outer world surrenders. And it's a constant going home and returning to that.
Right. Yeah. That's a constant struggle throughout your whole life.
Well, yeah, exactly. Absolutely. But at least it's an aware one. Life doesn't get, it's not, some of it is roses and rainbows and butterflies, of course, and we love those moments.
Right. But they're not all the time.
But it's not all the time. And, having at least an anchoring feeling of what it means to be connected to yourself and to have that, that strength inside, I think is what you need in life. And I heard a quote the other day. This woman was defining happiness, and I had never heard it defined this way, but I really liked it. And it's that she was saying, happiness is knowing that you can get yourself into that state no matter what happens around you. So again, it's about you. It's about that confidence, because over time, when you have that relationship with yourself and you see yourself overcoming things and you become a team with your higher self, or whatever you want to call it, your soul, or, things like that. That's where the real strength comes from. It also comes from getting through tough situations. And those tough situations are there for you ultimately to learn from.
Right. Definitely. Every hard thing has so many lessons within it. And yeah, it's like very important, of course, to come to that understanding, so you don't be like, oh, the universe is against me 10 out of 10 times of the day. No, it's all there to help you grow, and evolve. And it's just a projection of where we're at, which is frightening sometimes, because it's like, oh, you are in charge. You do have control, truly, but.
Absolutely. And, it's a snapshot view. And the thing with energy, because we're all energy, right? Like it's so much more about alignment than it is about timing sometimes. Like, we can have a really busy day and do nothing, and we can have a day where we seemingly do nothing and so much gets accomplished on an energetic level. Like people call us back, or we get information, or things suddenly flow together. And so the cool thing about energy and learning lessons I've found is that as soon as you understand what it is that you were meant to learn from a particular situation, that's when the energy shifts. And that's when so suddenly you neutralize whatever painful lesson has been repeating itself or is currently under acute focus for you in your life. And so it's really important. I mean, I was just telling you right now, my computer has completely died last night. I accidentally poured water on it. I'm working on an audiobook. All my files are on there. Oh my God. It was kind of a moment of panic, but I was actually pretty resigned yesterday because, the only thing I could control was my own reaction. Today I found out, fingers crossed, they're still being transferred. The files, the files can be
putting out all the good energy for that.
That was so much energy. But I look forward to being able to pull out this audiobook. And what it did for me was it gave me this renewed sense of gratitude for what I do, because for a while now, I was going to my computer like, okay, here we go. I need to be productive. What can I do? How can I figure out like this algorithm or that content or like this particular business plan, or who do I need to contact? And I lost my sense of gratitude along the way. And it turned into almost, like a little bit of, how shall I say? Not shame, but like, not a great energy. Kind of like, I wish I was somewhere else and I'm not just there yet. Therefore, everything I'm doing is just catching up instead of enjoying these moments.
Right.
And,
something I'm working on really hard in my life at this very particular moment, because we do get in those states. I mean, no matter what your job is, even if it's like your passion project of your life, like just sometimes you're just like, ugh, how do I do this? There's so much. Like,
it's an inner game. It's an inner game. And so many reasons.
What you're doing, it's there, right?
And there can be so many reasons for why you're feeling stagnant in a particular period of time. And sometimes it's actually very beneficial to take that as a hint and step away and, not pour water on your computer, maybe not get to those extremes, but at least recognize, is this a regression from the mean if I'm plugging in today, or would it be more, helpful for me to step out and go into nature and, just give myself that moment that I need. So
yeah, it's very important to recognize that before you pour water on your computer. But like you, I mean, I don't know if you're always like this. I usually have to have the water spilled on my computer to stop, because I treat myself like a machine a lot of the time, and I know that's not good, but especially when I'm in transitional periods of my life, I'm like, I don't like that. And I know you just need to surrender to that, but I know a lot of people feel that way. They're like, I just want to push so hard at whatever it is, but you're not supposed to push. That's actually like against the laws of the universe.
It is, yeah.
But like that goes against like the human, yeah.
We know all these things inherently.
Right.
But, you know, it's another thing to put them into action. And to your point, I can't tell because every day I feel like I learned a pretty heavy lesson, but it's not the first time that I've received a lesson in this way from the universe. So for sure, it's,
I understand
you know, my team of angels is like, we're going to have to do this so that she gets it.
My angels are like, we have to smack her around. She just doesn't listen. She's stubborn. I'm like, yeah.
She just wants to get it done. But so what I do is I've developed a really good relationship with napping. And so that, you know, well, you're not conscious. So, I mean, you're not conscious on this plane. So that really forces the, you know, the reboot to take place.
Yeah, I think naps are great. I mean, I can say, like I was telling you, I lived in France for the last year and a half, and my relationships with naps were killer in Europe because, like, the world operated on that frequency. It was like, okay, lunch is over, go, everything closes. Like, we're not even open. Like, literally go to bed.
Yeah. It's true.
Course, like, I got back from Italy in the end of July, and now, like, I have to reestablish my relationships with naps here because, like, even... It's just weird, like, wherever you are, like, you know, we are in control, of course, but it's like now I'm operating in the American, like, cycle, and it's like, oh my fucking God, these people are nuts. These people are nuts. They don't stop. They don't nap. They just keep going. It's insufferable.
Yeah. It's very different in the States, and I know what you mean. After I lived there, I spent 15 years of my career working in a, you know, U.S. corporate environment, and I think that contributed to a lot of the disconnection that I felt from myself, which ultimately got some pretty deep healing when I started to meditate and put the book together, and when all the insights started coming through, when I finally stopped running like a Energizer bunny, basically,
right?
Thinking that if I wasn't, I was failing,
right?
So so. How is it back in the States other than, you know, feeling all of this, like, overwhelm?
I feel like I blew up my entire life. I feel like it's the most stressful situation I've ever been in. Let's be positive about it, though. I'm glad I have a family who is supporting me on this part of the journey. I am lucky. But I'm in existential panic mode perpetually, I won't lie. Although, like, right now I'm working on all my passion projects. I have you here on this show. Like, we're talking with people. We're doing everything I, like, wanted to do for all these years. But, no, I'm in existential dread about being here because I just, like, I see this life around me here that, like, doesn't align with, like, any of my core values. And it just feels like a money game and, like, a senseless push to get somewhere all the time. And I already don't know where I want to go. So, like, being around that energy is, it's a really hard thing to navigate at the moment, but
I understand.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. In different levels, I felt the exact same way in the States. Unfortunately, sometimes it's like where you live might not be home. It's your house, but it might not be home to you.
But that's why it's important to establish that, like, home within yourself. But even so, it's like, you can have that, but we're not fragile. I mean, we're strong beings, but, you know, we are affected by all the energetic vibrations around us at all times. Whether or not we want to say, like, I can push, well, you can meditate and go reset your energy, but, like, we are, like, bombarded by our external forces, and though they're not everything, like law of attraction, manifest your energy, ignore everything, and just get to the place you want to be at in your own energy. It's very hard when you're living, like, around energies that just, like, don't resonate with you at all.
I feel like I know exactly what you mean, and I had recently an experience where that happened with me in my house, and I think it's an opportunity to expand your heart. Like, it's really an opportunity because you have nothing else but to hold on to, but to love. And I remember when this was happening, there was a day where I felt the energy so strong that I started smoking out my house with, like, some Palo Santo.
Oh, yeah.
And I was holding on to I felt like I was crazy. I was holding onto a crystal in one hand, and I had a white feather I had found, like representing an angel, and I was looking at the sky, crying, praying for love, just praying for love to come, and just a blanket of love on the house around me and within me, and just like infusing all over. It's difficult. But it's also growth, and you're wearing all your feelings, you're letting them go as they come. So it's all in the present. So like this type of vulnerability is really strong. And, being able to say everything out loud and not, and also not to put it on the out, like, I understand because I went through it, and sometimes energy that is introduced does trigger us in ways that are much stronger. But it's triggering you. So there's a reason it's also triggering.
Right.
Exactly. And so, I'm sure that if you keep living it this way with honesty, that the answer will present itself very shortly for you.
I'm ready for that damn answer. Thank you, Mercury, for going home. Like,
goodbye,
Mercury.
Yeah, exactly.
We've just had like a really like catastrophic, like
planetary.
Planetary. It was a planetary mess for a while there. Like,
oh my goodness! And I keep telling people that, like, normal. I don't want to say normal people, but people who don't follow, because they're like, this summer's been really rough, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, planetarily speaking, it's been, there's an explanation for that as well. We shouldn't be so surprised.
Right.
It's been difficult. I really felt it too. The Venus retrograde was actually a lot worse than I expected. Yeah.
I thought that would be, like, cause I'm a Taurus. I don't know what's your astrological sign, but
I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay, so, like, yeah, I'm ruled by Venus, so usually, like, things with Venus, I'm like, okay, it's usually, like, not as bad, I feel like.
Yeah, because you already have it in you.
Right, but this was just rough. Like, it was just, like, I don't know, but it's all about relationships with, like, what you're doing, relationships with self, blah, 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 but I made a hot mess of my relationship with myself for the first time in years when and it's just a testament to everything you're doing, too. It's like, it doesn't matter, like, when you get to that place, you can always get back into, like, a place you, like, you're not working corporate now, but you can still push yourself so hard you have to spill something on your laptop to stop. So it's like...
Yeah, that's true.
We can always go back.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you for simplifying that. And that was, like, the insightful, simple comment that embodied the whole experience for me. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Working so hard that you have to spill water on your laptop to get the point.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is true.
Yeah,
this is true. Or maybe working inefficiently, I would say.
Right.
Just trying to force something when it's not the time for it. When a different shift needs to happen before the operational component is really, valuable for it. So
it definitely feels like this time right now is for flowing, and I spent most of my life flowing, and now I'm like, no, but it's just funny, like, the people, speaking of relationships and all this, it's like, the people really will come up. Like, I've been reaching out to people that I haven't talked to in years, just like, because when my intuition tells me to talk to someone, like, you go, and these people are hardcore, like, never like this before, and they're like, I just like to be like the ocean flowing over a rock right now. I'm like, literally, fuck off with that shit. Like, I just want you to validate my feelings of complete insecurity, not tell me how beautiful the flow is. I'm like, I'm just resisting it, and I know that's not the way to go, but it's just funny because everyone, when, the universe will tell you what you need no matter what.
Well, it's, it all goes back to, best what is for you.
Right, exactly.
And because if you listen to other people's advice, and what is that called? Like toxic positivity, when someone is just like, when you're really, really, upset, and someone is like, well, what do you think the lesson is for you here right now? And actually, I love that, because I have a friend who is like that, and she's absolutely no BS, and she's all about it. And, I know that, if I share with her, she's always looking to unlock it with me so that we can transform it and move forward, and it's really helpful. But sometimes you really just do need to share your story, and it's okay if what you're sharing is not in full alignment with like
Right.
the way, we're all
Right.
aware of maybe the
Perfect
right way to say it, but but being able to just share it, because then you can pick it apart yourself for yourself.
Right, exactly.
And what you're saying today could be different tomorrow, and it's all due to your own inner reflection.
It usually is, right? But that's so true. I know, but I feel like this is almost kind of funny because it's almost like me mirroring, like, because I used to do that to people, like, excuse me, but like, you're crying, what's the lesson? Like, actually, if you listen, and it's like, I've spent my whole life just like, it's not really compassionate. I'm just like, I don't know, I got on this journey and then I stopped having like genuine compassion for people at one point because I just was seeing like, and not like trying to not, but just like seeing it from the higher perspective. Like, well, this is what it's trying to teach you, so just understand this, instead of like, you're feeling this and that's valid and you probably just need someone to talk to right now and not me come at you with my Aquarian fucking force field and like knock you down.
Well, it's full circle though, I think. And like, when you first start on the path, you want to share it with others and you share what's helped you.
Right.
And it is full circle. I thought about it also last night with a friend of mine. He asked me to come hang out for a little while and have a chat, and I hadn't seen him in a while, and I was feeling like, I don't know, the energy's not right. Like, I should stay home. I'm a little bit tired. The computer had this situation. Like, I just had a day.
Right.
It was like a rain monsoon here in Milan, and
my God.
it was just not so good. And I realized I was like 50-50 about going or not. And I know he's been going through a really tough time and he wanted to chat. And I thought to myself, okay, so yeah, energy is saying it's not so great for you necessarily to go. You could stay here and watch like a YouTube illumination, or you could go. So I decided I'm going to go because, you know what? I'm going to do my friend a favor. Forget about the energy. Let's go back to the simple things. I want to do he needs me. I'm going to go there and give him a favor.
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes it's like, learn the rules like an artist, or learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. So when
I love that saying. I'm going to steal it.
For sure. It's not even mine. Take it.
Oh,
spread it around.
I love that.
But it's good because like once you've like learned what's right from wrong, then you can, or what's, the correct course of action, which by the way, only you can decide if you're not hurting anybody, and it's, it's really not, it's only for you to decide what makes you feel better to do things.
Right, exactly.
Then, I mean, it's your canvas. Make your choices.
Right.
According to how you feel. And if it's wrong, that's right
masterpiece.
anyway.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay. Like, everything is so okay.
I know, that's true. And it kind of comes back just to like having compassion for yourself, which everything does, because we are like our own worst critics wholeheartedly. Like, we can be like, oh yeah, with other people, but it's when it comes down to us, it's like, or with me at least, like I'm so, and no matter how much I'm just, this is my lesson right now. Have compassion for yourself, you crazy girl. Like, just chill out. Stop pushing yourself over an edge. You did not have to dominate the world by the time you were 30. Saturn returns. Can we just talk about how rough a Saturn return is? Like, I don't wish this upon anybody. Like, I truly don't wish this upon anyone. But we all go through it. So.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Well, I mean, I think I ended an engagement right around my Saturn return. So my whole life flipped over.
Sounds
I was
right.
living on my parents' couch. My contact lens case was in the bookshelf. With a big girl job, I was going back there, and that was my Saturn return.
Oh my God, that makes me feel so much better about living in my family's home right now.
There you go. It's you're on time. You're totally on schedule.
Everyone, you're going to move back home to your parents.
Well, that's one iteration, I guess you could say. And it's ultimately, it's good to be grateful, like, at least that you have that chance to do that. And, and back to, like, I do think it's true for everybody. We all are just tougher on ourselves than we are on others. It's the way that, our ego is designed. But it's important also not to judge our judgment. I think that's sometimes what can be hard too, is when we realize, okay, I'm saying all these horrible things to myself. And then we're like, I shouldn't be saying all these horrible things to myself. And then you're like, why am I saying all these horrible things? And it's like, and then you're like, I'm judging my own judgment and judging upon judging. And this is turning into Inception. And it's
that's a
just
vicious cycle.
So it's really good to kind of step outside of that and recognize that you're not the voice that's talking. You're the voice that's listening to. You're both of those things are impacting you in that moment in your energy field. And that's beautiful, because when you get through it and when you spiral up from this, then you're going to have a lot of real compassion for people. And the wisdom, I think, now is kept through people and not just the highest of spiritual leaders. I think every single person in this world is starting to get access to some wisdom, and things are shifting and transforming.
Oh, for sure.
And we can, everyday, regular people who don't even learn this stuff can be extremely healing and possibly even more advanced than some people who are, speaking up at the podium.
Sometimes. Now I'm like, oh God. Where'd you come up with all that wisdom? I've been over here on this journey for like a hot minute, long before you, and I'm falling on my ass, like not knowing what I'm doing completely, and you're like, you got it. Like, so you're right. Like, I feel like the world is waking up, which is great. I mean, who doesn't want that?
It's also, exactly like how what you're going through, which I've been through.
Yeah.
And I go through too. I mean, top of one mountain is bottom of the next. So it's
right,
always
exactly.
cycles. It's just a matter of learning how to love yourself even in those cycles.
Right. I think that's the real goal, right?
But when people are like, oh, I started looking into spirituality, I'm like, okay, welcome. I feel very sorry for you. Very happy. But I'm so sorry too.
So sorry.
Welcome that it's not going to be what you think, but enjoy the ride for now. Enjoy your first couple months of, meditative bliss.
Wait till the first dark night of the soul, sir.
Wait till you realize, that you can still get a little bit sad from things over time, because it is cyclical, and we do live in a very sometimes dense reality, and things will continue to trigger us for more healing and clearing. So,
that is accurate. And of course, the more open you are, the more you feel it. Then you have to set boundaries. Then you can't close yourself off from all the boundaries, and you can't just like put your wall up and be like, I don't want to feel all this things. And then you can't be open, and then you go back through the same cycle, and
until you finally get out, until you get out, until the boundaries start to get a little easier to say no to. I just had to do a lot of boundaries lately, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And I think I've wrapped up, gotten a hang of it for the most part now.
That's really good. Yeah. I think I'm pretty good right now with them, but definitely I found when I moved to France, I was shocked because I thought I was really good with boundaries, but like apparently I had just completely put the shield up. So I wasn't good at boundaries. I was just like...
You're good at shutting the door.
I was just like, no, fucking bye. No one's getting in my energetic shield. I'm protecting myself with an iron guard. And then it was like, so instead of like learning how to open and still have boundaries, I just like exploded my openness in this foreign country where I knew nobody and was like a vulnerable little kitten being stomped on the street every day. And I was like, I was in just a puddle of tears every hour on the hour. I let the worst energies come and attack me, like spiritually, mentally, physically. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we really, we didn't learn boundaries then, Leila, did we? We just learned protection without without opening at all. Like, there's a balance between being open, being closed, being able to be open with still closing out the bad. Yeah, no. Apparently.
So were people just coming to talk to you at inopportune times, or what was
attracting the types of people that I would never allow in my life, like before, or right now, or ever, like just types of people I would never think I would be able to like allow in my life again. Like just toxic relationships, manipulation, narcissism, like the whole cycle I thought I had wrapped up. Nope, it just like came pummeling back to me the second I was like, help. I'm scared. I'm open. I'll take anybody. Just somebody love me because I'm confused and I don't speak this language only a little bit. And I moved to a village and I feel under attack. So let's just attack me more. It was brutal. It was literally.
Well, it was definitely it was definitely another lesson that,
huge one.
That needed to remind you that you could fix.
Yeah. So boundaries, that's a good one. Feel pretty strong on them at the very moment right now, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very good to remember that. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, saying no sometimes is the only way to say yes to yourself.
Right. Exactly. That's so true. And you have to be able to do that.
I mean, obviously the best case is when everybody could say yes and everybody's all for it, and then we can have a big yes party. But,
I love that.
Whatever that might mean. But
I don't know. It sounds really happy and I'm here for it.
What makes you happy makes me happy. We like the same snacks. We can all watch. Nobody's disagreeing on the show we want to watch, and it's raining and we're happy about it. That's great.
And we're
but
dancing.
Sometimes, why not? And then, all these wonderful serendipitous, happy surprises happen that everybody's in agreement of.
That made me truly joyous, so yes.
And that's, the probabilities of that are sometimes possible, and sometimes it's good to just step away if it's not a big yes party, and trust. Yeah. I've said no to some pretty exciting things lately because the energy was saying no, and I was like, but I'm going to meet a celebrity. No. But I'm going to do, no. But it's a 2-hour massage. No.
Yes, no. To the 2-hour massage. Are you kidding? Always yes.
It was just not the right day. There was just, and then I've said yes to a lot of other things. And I have to listen. And whenever I do, if I'm choosing myself beyond and above these situations, something good comes from it usually. Right. So, something more in alignment.
That's true. Yeah, because if you say yes to everything, you don't have space to accept what's actually for you.
Right. Nothing comes through anymore. It's all just one big confused funnel of other people's yeses. Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah, so we're in a no brigade right now. We are not saying yes to everything. But even with this podcast, I had to learn how to schedule properly and just not overload myself. Like I had to learn yes, but wait a few weeks. Don't, because we as people, we just take on way too much. So no.
Well, it alleviates anxiety also.
Right.
I feel like for me, it alleviates anxiety if I can pass the ball. Right. If the ball gets to me and I can just pass it right back so that the onus of responsibility falls upon the other person.
So much better.
It's a lot more, peaceful in a way.
Oh my God.
But it is hard to have intention and evaluate. That was I watched Oprah was saying something like this, that one of the lessons she learned early on was before you answer a question or before you take on a particular engagement, what is your intention behind saying yes and behind saying no? And, this is, I think I've been on, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 podcasts at this point. And, initially my intention was I gotta go talk about this. I gotta talk about that. I want to get as many people to hear me as possible, the book. And, today my intention was simply, I just want to celebrate who I've become with another person and share my gratitude that we can have this conversation and simply just enjoy what we're going to do without any particular expectation. And may what comes through out of my mouth serve somehow what someone needs to hear.
Yes. I love that. I know.
And if I didn't feel this way, I wouldn't have come on. I would have, in my latest no brigade, I would have said no.
Well, I'm really glad you're in that energy because sometimes, I never know what to expect with these, but this is the energy I feel was supposed to come out for everyone. And I like that you showed up with that because sometimes it is. Sometimes, my shows are always different. Sometimes we have people who just genuinely want to pump their stuff, which is good. I mean, everyone go buy your her book, obviously, but,
Yeah,
like, sometimes I feel like the most beneficial, my favorite episodes are the ones where I just, like, it's like we're not on camera, we're just talking, because I feel like genuinely, like, that does sometimes reach people, like, a lot more, just, like, a genuine conversation, because we end up just, like, getting to the core of things. There's no real topic, like, other than everything, but it's, like, when two people are just speaking honestly about their experiences, like, that's, like, very, I find that helpful, versus, like, showed up like this. Glad your laptop
I'm so happy. Yeah, well, me too, I suppose. Let's talk in a couple of days when I get it all fixed, when I get all my data back. But I agree. I think so. I've watched some meditations, like, where the woman came through and she had such this amazing presence. And then when she started doing the guided meditation, we started going into so many Hindu laws, and we just lost the magic. It became so much more about the process and not about the moment.
Right.
And enjoying that, and, recognizing that not everything has to be like the next best thing said, and just to relax and just, like, be okay.
Flow.
Yeah. Flow. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the lesson of the week for all of us, I think. Flow.
Flow, and, and what's it called? Prepare, because luck needs preparation, but relax about it. Do your job and then let go, as they say in the Tao.
Right.
Like, don't worry so much if you know that you did something right in the good energy. Just let it go. And do the next thing, and just keep showing up.
That's the only thing we can do, and the hardest thing sometimes. But we have to.
Yeah, it's the only thing. And when you master that, everything else is good. Because when you're happy with yourself, for the most part, things can settle around you in a really nice way.
It's true.
So,
yeah, we gotta get back to the internal happiness, all of us. All of us. Well, you seem like you're in a good place with yourself right now, so that's good. I'm
working on it.
Yeah, I'm working.
I think so.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
But never say, I think I've also learned to never say that you feel like you've gotten there, because that's a big joke from the universe. As soon as you say that,
you get smacked down real hard.
Yeah, and you're like, I feel like I've got this. I feel like I can do this pretty well, and then it's like, oh yeah. You think you had enough lessons? We have an infinity left for you.
Oh my God. I think that's what happened to me last year. I was like, I did it, you guys! I graduated!
Careful what you wish for.
We're like, no. They're like, are you ready? I was like, yeah! Bring on the good!
Give me all of the lessons in one. And it's so ironic that one tiny village gave you all of this, like, encyclopedic
The village
education.
was, like, literally the size of my room, too. Like, I can't...
They're like, each one was, like, a pillar of one arch topic.
It was, like, every little building was like, oh, well, that's one lesson. I swear, I could establish each cafe held a different lesson.
That's pretty cool. You could do something with that. You could make, like, some type of I don't know, like, adult children's book or infographic where it's like, the village of lessons, the village of universal lessons.
We'll draw the port, we'll draw...
each one.
Here's the lesson of don't abuse yourself. Here's the lesson of overindulgence. Here's the lesson of just not saying no!
Exactly.
Welcome to Cussie. Oh, we just called out their village. Well, hi, Cussie. Never come back. Sorry, no. They call me still. They're like, come back. I'm like,
the village? The whole village is on the phone.
I feel like that's how I feel. Like, when I get a call from someone, they're like, and the village says, it's like, it's honestly creepy. It's like, I was talking with my friend the other day, which I use the term friend loosely because they all participated in my complete downfall of well-being while I was there. So I usually have them in my archive prisoners, but every once in a while I take a call, and every single time they're just like, and the village is here too. The village misses you. And I'm like, this is so creepy.
That's crazy. That's fun. But I know that's how they talk. I mean, as I said, my grandma comes from a French village, coincidentally. Yeah. And I had not been there in 4 years. And because at the time I was working in the U.S. and I had like 15 PTO days, so it was really hard for me to get there to visit. And I was walking down the street, and I had been one time to get bread from this bread shop. And the lady was like, we haven't seen you in 4 years. And I was like, how did you know? It's literally been 4 years, but I was like, I'm like, wow, that's like not a lot happens here, I guess.
No, nothing. So
it was like that. It's pretty creepy. Yeah.
I know village life. It is romantic though in your mind. You're like, I could just live in this little village and know my bread lady, you know, but then it happens. And it's like,
well, you don't even have to stay for long before she knows you.
No, I think I was well known after like my first week there in the summer and with a whole horde.
How did you choose this particular village?
Oh, this is a great story. So, not really, but it's a weird story. So I'm walking down the street of California one day and I find this French restaurant and I like fall madly in love with this server man for no reason. Like weird, like he looks at me like, you've been in my dream. And I was like, you've been in my dreams. And it only lasted, this relationship lasted for like the sum of a month. But it was just like so absolutely catastrophically intense. And I was already sitting there like, I feel like I have to move to Europe. I've always wanted to move to Europe. But of course I didn't know where to go. I was feeling the French vibe. And this whole restaurant's from France. And they're all from Marseille. So I was like, okay. And so I asked this guy, I'm like, where do I move? I just want, like, if you could go back to France, because he couldn't. He's like, I miss France, but I have a child. I fucked my life up because I'm dumb. Now I'm attached. Whatever. That's his problem. But, so he was like, go to this one village. And, like, literally that was it. I moved there, like.
Okay, wow.
I just, like, on a whim moved there. I was like, that's the one. Thank you, sir, for sending me into the demon's den. I'm sure it's a big but, yeah, so that was, like, that was it. I was like, I was sold. I was like, I need no more answers.
This is enough. This is all aligned. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it needed to bring you to this place of, you know, really, really honest and raw, vulnerable, intense transformation.
I think so, because I really was like, I was transforming hard, but I was like, not vulnerable about it. I was like, I put myself on a pedestal before. I was like, I don't know. I was just in like this esoteric, weird, like, I don't exist in Earth. It's not good enough for me kind of vibe.
Yeah, like what's your planet? We're Arcturian.
Ew.
I'm Pleiadian. Or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, like, I'm from the Pleiades. Like,
Andromeda. Yeah, and like, no, it's true. And actually, so in my book, I talk about the difference between honesty and vulnerability. And like, basically, like, imagine you're with a partner and you finally have sex and it's not so good for one of you, which is you in this example.
Yeah.
And so the honest person, when it's done, the other partner would be like, so how was it? You know, and so an honest answer would be, well, you know, it wasn't so good.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so hard to say though.
Sorry, but like I didn't, complete my task.
Yeah.
But the vulnerable response is saying, you know what? I was really nervous. I've been looking forward to being with you. And I feel like that contributed a little bit. And it, for me, I just wasn't able to let go as much as I should have. And, I think perhaps we can try again. And so.
That's such a better answer.
Right? Because you're not putting responsibility on anybody else. You're analyzing yourself in a way that helps the other person see where your answer is coming from. And so in that same way, like, it's a silly example, it's obviously like very carnal, but I think when that's where the true strength of vulnerability comes from, when you're actually able to assess a situation, as you said, off of the pedestal, where it's not like, oh, well, I'm typically capable of having master orgasmic, whatever.
Right.
And
that's where I was
it's your problem. Life. Like, it's the world's problem. And it's like, okay, no, actually, perhaps there are some like baseline situations that needed to be readjusted on my end as well. And like, I'm just going to share, this is where I'm at and this is how this all impacted. So it becomes a little bit more approachable.
Right, exactly. And it's, you're right. It's taking the blame off the other person. Like, because my when you said this story, my immediate response is like, ew, gross, I'm never seeing this person again. Like,
well, there you go. I mean, that's honest.
Wrong. That's wrong.
That's honest. And perhaps, most of the time, if we don't have such good chemistry, like, it doesn't really like go so far, because what distinguishes a friendship from a relationship? However, sometimes, if you really do care about a person, you've gotten to know them intellectually and emotionally and everything is checking out, and that one part just didn't work one time, like it's worth
another shot. Yeah.
Opening up a little bit and just trying to make it like, a vulnerable place where, both people can jump back from it.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. And I do feel like that's like common almost, like, okay, so like in modern day relationships, because nobody knows how to like not be toxic anymore, even like the not toxic people don't know how to be. And I feel like that does actually happen a lot, because I know like some of the people I've loved the most in my life and connected with so much, like intellectually, spiritually, like, but when it comes down to like that, like the physical intimacy, it's like we almost look at each other like, but we're like best friends. How do we bridge this gap? Because usually we just are intimate with people we don't like in this way. So it's like, and then you like kind of freak out and like, well, this ruined everything. But like really in retrospect, it probably would have worked fine. But everybody just freaks out sometimes.
Well, that's the ultimate place that is intimacy. Intimacy is being able to be with someone that you feel that way about, and then having that conversation and getting through that conversation and realizing that nobody died from it. And, everybody's good. It's easier said than done.
It is. And I think it's ruined every good relationship I almost had in my life, because one of us, mostly them.
But you can be that person now.
Yeah.
You can be that person, and then they have a choice to meet you there or not.
Right, exactly.
But at least you give them a choice.
Yeah.
Instead of just quieting out and being like, well, that didn't work, I'm going to Irish exit. But... but it's all happens in, the way it should, so.
Everything works the way it's supposed to, I agree. But I love that whole, your book just already, I still have to order your book. It's in my cart. I haven't ordered it yet.
Oh, yeah, let me know what you think.
I will. I know. I think I was gonna download it on my Kindle, but I couldn't find my Kindle, so I was like, I'm just gonna get a paperback.
It should be, it talks about all this stuff. So I'm 37 and a half now. And, I have dated a lot, and I have dated a lot prior to getting into spirituality, which, a lot of the misguided relationships came from, and some of the stories that I learned from happened. And then when you go into spirituality, it's still really, really human to date, because you could be super happy in yourself, in your own house. But, relationships pull out other insecurities that we wouldn't have normally unsurfaced if we were just only with ourselves. So, it goes into all of that part as well, all the way up to commitment. And then that's where I jump off, because I've never been married, so I cannot speak for that at this present moment.
I'm with you there. That's why we both have to jump off. But you're right, because, it's almost, I've never even known like a nice, healthy relationship other than with like friends and stuff. Whatever. That's okay. I will. But you're right. Like when it comes to spirituality and then dating, it humanizes like all these things that like, you're like, oh my God, vulnerability. Oh my God. Like,
it's like, here's my chance. I've got to apply my lessons. But then then it gets weird too, because then it's like, who do you date? Do you date a person who's also on a spiritual path? And then you become like, kind of like, then it gets all weird and like, you're projecting and like, I feel like your energy is like, and then it's
your energy is off and your toxic
like,
femininity is not working for me today.
Yeah, exactly. Can we please like have like a powwow and chat about, it's, or do you go with a person who is just like, in their own life and like living their job and not really aware of any of this, and then it's like, then you have to stop yourself.
Resonation.
You have to stop yourself from being like, look within. I feel like you have this block, and like, this is happening with your, and then it's just a matter of balancing all these things. Eventually, with the right person,
right?
You don't need to worry about it.
Will be balanced between that, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like dating is such an anomaly to me at this point. I'm like, I literally don't know. Like, I've tried, I don't know, a little bit. Not really, I haven't tried that hard, but I've entertained some souls in the last year, and 10 out of 10 made me never want to date again. Like, okay, those damn Italian men, like, you spend one night with the fucker and he's on the phone with his mother at your door bringing pasta and a wedding ring the next day. I'm like, oh, Lord, I can't.
Oh, that sounds very rare, actually.
Really?
You must have had...
like
You
10
must
out of
have
10
had
times.
quite a charm.
I think I do. This is
That's
probably
interesting.
so. That was like the not spiritual side of me in France, was just attracting all these Italian men who wanted to marry me with like mama's lasagna after the first day, and my fear of commitment is like, never talk to me again. And then like the other side.
Well, this
like,
is why you were attracting it. Yeah, it's whenever for that specific type of person who probably also has something, unbalanced on their side, if they're resonating with you saying no, no, no in the back of your mind, and they're just trying to fill in that void by saying yes,
like,
yes,
lasagna.
yes.
I'm like,
yeah.
Please give me the little pasta and leave.
Yeah, please just leave it on the doorstep next to all the others.
But you're right, because I was so pushing like commitment is gross and scary that I was attracting like marry me. I've never gotten proposed to so many times in my life as the last year. Like I literally can count at least like 15 marriage proposals, 10 of which were probably serious.
Wow.
And like it was a lot. Like that's a lot for me.
That's a lot for a lifetime. I forget about a year. That's a lot in general. I don't think I've had that many in my whole life.
And I think like I went into it because I didn't think at first I could get paper. I did get paperwork all by myself. Of course, I dropped the ball and didn't renew my visa, but it's fine. I'll just apply for a new one. Sorry, France. Don't hate me when I come back for one. I had to escape. Okay, I was in this vibe. I was in a space. I had to go. But so like at first I was like, I need to get married for paperwork. So I did put that out there at first. Which, like, literally just, like, attracted so many just, like, codependent, like, weird fucking, like, jealous, like, I will possess you relationships. And then I was like, okay, don't want to get married anymore. But then
taking it back.
My paperwork, and it still kept happening. So I was like, all right, well, I guess that's my fear of commitment shining through here.
Yeah, sounds like you definitely brought some interesting results for yourself.
One day I'll reflect upon this year in its entirety and just be like, what? Because I forgot about that till we were talking, so there's a lot, but yeah.
Wow.
We got some stuff. Like you said, it was a village of just lessons and lessons. Like, how can one village...
The definition of a microcosm to the macrocosm. Like, it sounds like you got all of your lessons in this little microcosm. Really? I mean... I've never heard of such a concentrated amount of lessons in one specific place.
It was shocking. I mean, it's good because now I don't have to, like, hate the rest of the country. It's just, like, I don't even hate the village. But it's like, okay, I just never want to go back to this one little pocket.
I would say your time there, your lessons are...
I think we're done.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. We'll try a bigger place next time.
Yeah, but in general, like, I actually have this sensation that this was really good for you.
I think so.
It's going to be really good now. I mean, how much, now you can only go up.
You can only go up, but like, goddamn, if I thought I'd be at 30, like, after 12, because I left home when I was 18, like, if I had thought at 30 years old would be the first time since leaving home that I would be like, Mommy, like, literally, like, a baby, Mama, I have no
I'm
prospects.
hungry.
I have no money. I ran out of baguettes. I'm eating I'm eating my last scoop of gelato.
Aww. You're good though. It's all perfect. It's like, you got so much from that. And the courage that it takes to go to a town like that and just, I don't know how you did it. I mean, it's absolutely, it's like, what is it like? It's like you eat, pray, loved, but you just, whatever part of it was, you just stayed for the whole year instead of taking off and going to Asia and like moving out. Most people really don't last that long in such a situation.
I can't believe I think because part of me knew like, if you leave, you're gonna learn this. So I think part of me definitely knew that I had to that I did not want to go through these lessons again. So I think like part of me was just like, you're fucking staying, girl. And I don't care. All. Yeah, like you're doing it. This is it. I was like, ugh, do I have to? But part of me knew that like I would never really like get to where I wanted to be at within myself if I didn't just like go through it. But yeah, no, but of course now we're just looking for clarity because I have no idea. Like now that I fell so hard, like I'm just like, I don't even know. All my stuff lives in France in a storage locker. Like I don't even have my instruments or my clothes. Like,
oh, well, it's just time to integrate. It's time to integrate and take a lot of naps. Take a lot of naps and take minerals because that helps with like,
oh my God. Yeah. I
all the
actually
things.
am.
Yeah. Minerals are really good for getting all those spiritual insights into your body.
You know, everyone should try my water mix. I went to this yoga retreat in Tennessee and I was just perpetually dehydrated and I was having all these like physical ailments and like I thought I was having like heart attacks and dying, but really I was just dehydrated. So the lady, yeah, but I was like really genuinely scared. Like my health was not okay. And like I just wasn't hydrating. I was never hydrated and I just didn't know how to like fix myself. So I was at this yoga retreat. This lady has me mix now. Half a tablespoon of like fine sea salt, half a tablespoon of like the new salt, the Baileyan French stuff, and then like a tablespoon of cream de tartare and then like a squeeze of lime juice because it has like potassium. All these things have like potassium, like sodium and all these minerals that I'm not getting like normally. And since then, like I've been fine.
Wow. That's lovely. That's lovely. Yeah. It's the minerals are really good. It really helps because, when you're going through some transformation,
right,
you need that help. You need to hydrate. You need to get it through your body.
I don't think any of us know how mineral deficient we usually are, though, either. I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. Magnesium, I guess I heard, is a big one.
Oh, yeah, magnesium. I have the liquid magnesium. It tastes like total garbage, though, and I can't get it down.
But it's so good for you.
So good.
I don't know why, but I don't know
either.
That's what they say.
I know. My mom's like, buy the pills, but the lady had me buy the like liquid, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying. I'm like, the liquid tastes literally just like garbage. Like it is the worst fucking thing I've ever put in my mouth. So thanks for reminding me. I need to keep drinking it, but it's just so gross. It's just so bad.
It's good. Just imagine it going through you and transforming all of your cells and giving you happiness from inside.
Yes, cell transformation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's very enlightening conversation.
Yeah. Is there anything else I can answer?
I don't know. You told me I'm doing fine. I just need a nap so I feel better about myself.
I would say so. I mean, listen, the rest of it, you're your own healer. So
yeah, that's true.
The rest of it is all about what you think works for you and continue to do that. And just, I think it's as simple as saying no and yes repeatedly in the way that resonates and going into your heart and just understanding when you're doing what intention is behind that answer.
I like that. That I could use I'll take that.
Like, what is my no? Why am I saying no? Because I'm choosing myself. Why am I choosing myself? Because I feel that I would get more from this situation. Why am I saying yes? Because I feel like this is going to help me grow. I like where this is going. It feels really energized. And then the problem is when you get to the maybes, and then you're like, how do I say yes or no? But then you go into your intention again, and you say, what would happen if I said no, and what would happen if I said yes? And you just keep on going, and then you get faster at it, because once you get in a flow, then you don't have time to think so much. And
that's true.
And then it gets really,
I need less
really
time
okay.
to think. No more thinking, Leila. Feel more, think less to the world too. Feel more, think less. Well, yeah.
When you're thinking, you're not connected, and when you're connected, you're not thinking.
So true. My brain is like a riotous, crazy person. It just never turns off. So.
Well, there are some meditations, and I have 3 free guided meditations on my website that that I put together.
I'm gonna do them
on my, during my COVID exploration. Meditation really helped me get out of my own head. And so I'm writing more and more, and I'm putting a project together for making more of them available. But for now, there's 3 that are on my website for free. And I'll send you the link if you want.
Send me the link, and I'll put it with the podcast too. So
they should be fun. They're about some general topics like perspective and self-acceptance and being the solution. And
I like that. I need to be the solution.
Yeah, and they're super, I think, different than other ones, I would say, in the sense that they're not like, there's a white light and
there's a pony with a stick on its head tromping through the meadow and eating grass through the portal.
Which those can be fun too. I mean, those can be fun.
I can't focus on shit like that. I'm like, I don't see the fucking pony. I see a river and my pony is a squirrel and
that's information. That's so interesting.
Every single time I have to do like a visual like that, I'm like, no, I am not at a house. I'm at a lake.
Well, who's to say? You can change it. I do that all the time. I mean, really, like, you're so in charge. You know, you're in charge of your world and your visions and your meditations and your creations and your insights and your messages.
So true.
And maybe, you know, in those cases, like, it's important for you to show yourself that you can do it and not visualize the pony and the rainbow.
I don't see the pony and I never see a rainbow. I never see the pony. I don't love ponies.
Oh, that's okay.
Like
maybe something happened to you with a pony in the past.
I got thrown off of one.
Well, there we go. It's not even a soul story. It's a real one.
And then I think I had like a pet pony or something and it died. So.
Oh, that's
maybe it was
really...
a donkey. I don't know. Like,
okay, well, both of these things are very tragic.
Yeah. I mean, now I laugh at them, but...
Well, that's fine, too. It's good to be able to... But serious things are very funny, and funny things are very serious.
I know. It's true. Well, yeah, so we can find your meditations, your book, and everything on your website, yes?
Yes, they should be all there. holyshiver.com. And I'll send you the links. Get Free Meditations is the link for the meditations.
Get Free Meditations. And get that Unpeel Your Banana.
And it's hyphenated, though. A new banana is Unpeel Yourself. Yeah.
I just butchered your title. Unpeel Your Banana. I called it.
Well, that would only apply to half the population, so I had to be more general. You know, I had to make it more accessible to all biological compositions.
Yeah, we have to be all inclusive.
Well, of course, it applies. Yeah. Even though we all have, and this is where the key lies in balancing our feminine and masculine, we all should do that.
That's the most important thing. And we have both. We have both, people.
We do. We do. I heard I don't even know if this is true. This is going to be so weird sounding, but I think it was interesting. Someone told me in Atlantis, people had both parts too, and they would just select who they would use on which. And it was like that level of like, yeah, I don't know if this is true. I haven't been able to Google validate it because it doesn't exist. But, you know, interestingly. So
that's so interesting. I want to find out about that now too, because I'm obsessed with Atlantis anyway, so that's fascinating.
I heard that, you know, but I think ultimately, and then I was on Bumble, because I still frequent that app, and there was a person on Bumble who put on his status, and it was like, I believe the solution to all of the world's problems are to integrate the feminine into our brain. And I agree. True. I mean, it's very interesting because, you know, of course I said also the masculine. It depends on the person. It's whatever you need to have an imbalance with. But I basically swiped on him specifically for writing that.
Yeah, I would have too. I would have been like instant like.
I wasn't even attracted, but I was like, what you said is just, I have to connect with you. Yeah. Well, unfortunately he doesn't live here, so he was like one of those people that visits the city and wants to get a drink for the night. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to thank you for sharing that insight. Yeah, and thank you for putting it out into the field.
It's so true, because if the men in charge just took a little bit more of that feminine wisdom, compassion, and intuition, then maybe our world wouldn't be such a clusterfuck of hatred, abuse, and toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and also, if we just found the beauty in them, in that,
right.
In receiving and giving and manifesting and receiving would be just like so much more balanced. Giving.
Because the world surely likes to take.
Yeah.
Not
What's
the world,
the opposite of opposite?
Oh, what is the opposite of opposite?
I don't have an answer. My friend asked me last night.
I have to really, like, the opposite of opposite is non-opposite? Like, do they cancel each other out and make it like?
I don't know. This is not even a spiritual question. If any of your listeners has an answer,
I'll put it in the poll at the end. What is the question? They let me put a Q&A. What is the opposite of opposite? I don't fucking know. Like,
exactly.
Neutral. That sounds very philosophical. Where are my philosophers at?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I need to know.
I call myself a philosopher. It's a lie.
Well, that's very philosophical to say.
Thank you.
That's what a philosopher would say.
That's what I'm winning.
And it would be like this really long explanation as to why.
I do that. I have whole like stories about the philosophy of shit that I just don't understand, and then. Like,
well, you're probably channeling them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. All my writing is
That's
channeled.
super.
Yeah, I've got to finish my next 2 books. So, yep.
If you need any help, I'm here. Just let me know. I'm happy to help you out.
I need someone to tell my brain to fucking work. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, or you could remember that the next step, if you keep thinking that, is your computer getting water on it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So just
let your brain be. Just let the brain be.
Take a nap.
Just let it absorb and let it, just take it all in.
Yeah, or maybe just hire someone to go
through
my Google Drive for me and get all the poems and tell me what book they go into, because there's like 8,000, and then the universe won't punish my laptop. And also I can nap while that happens.
Yeah, delegate any low-income tasks.
Right. I need an assistant. Anyone want to be my assistant? Call me. I have no money to pay you, though.
Yeah, well, there can be other exchanges. I don't mean it in a perverted way. But I just mean, sometimes people come and are sent to you to help you out. So
yeah, we're calling them in. We need it. Well, yeah, so thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thank you for this convo. It's been amazing. What a pleasant little break from life.
I know, this has really rejuvenated me today. So, and it's 11:11 here. Woo!
Yay!
Yay! I don't know
that time.
It's like later in Italy, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's 5:11.
Oh yeah. I forget we're behind. You're ahead.
Okay.
Okay. You're in the
okay.
future.
What is time?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, thanks for coming. Everyone go buy her book and and listen to the meditations. And yeah, thanks for listening to the Leila Show. Bisous, bisous, ciao.
The Leila Show.